Okay, so good day everyone. So this time what we're going to discuss is about internet, wireless technology, and telecommunication. So after reading this information, you should be able to answer the following questions. What are the main telecommunication network elements and important technologies or network technologies? What other kinds of networks are there? How do the internet or internet technology and e-business assist each other in communication? What are the main methods of wireless networking communication and access to the internet? And why are wireless sensor networks and radio frequency identification useful to business? You cannot functions without networks if you own or operate in a company. So you must stay in constant contact with your clients, partners, and staff. Businesses utilize voice or fax communication through the phone or the postal service up until around 1990 actually. No? But today, however, you and your staff do this using computers, email, instant messaging, the internet, mobile computers linked to wireless network and cell phones. Nowadays, networking and conducting business online go hand in hand. So to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our presenter. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Dean. Hi, good afternoon, classmates. I'm RG Malandog, and I will discuss Chapter 7 of Advanced Management Information System, which is the telecommunications, the internet, and wireless technology. So just like what Dean said, in this chapter, we will learn what are the principal components of telecommunications, networks, and key networking technologies. What are the different types of networks? How do the internet and internet technology work? And how they support communication and e-business? And what are the principal technologies and standards for wireless networking, communication, and internet access? First, what are the principal components of telecommunications, networks, and key networking technology? So just like what Dean said earlier, if you run or work in a business, you can't do it without networks. So you need to communicate rapidly with your customers, suppliers, and employees. So nearly about year 1990, businesses use the postal system or telephone system with voice or fax for communication. So today, we are now using computers, email, text messaging, the internet itself, mobile phones, and mobile computer connected to wireless networks for this purpose. So networking and the internet are now nearly synonymous with doing business. So networking communication trend, firms in the past used two fundamental different types of networks, namely the telephone networks and computer networks. So for telephone networks, historically handled voice communication, and computer networks handled data traffic. And telephone companies built telephone networks through the 20th century by using voice transmission technologies, hardware and software. And these companies almost always operate at regulated monopolies throughout the world. So computer companies originally built computer networks to transmit data between computers in different locations. Thanks to the continuing telecommunications deregulations and information technologies innovations, telephone and computer networks now are converging into a single digital network using shared internet-based standard and technology. So telecommunications provider today, such as AT&T and T and Verizon, offers data transmission, internet access, mobile phone service, and cable companies such as Cablevision and Comcast offers voice service and internet access. So computer networks have expanded to include internet, telephone, and video service. So what is computer network? If you had to connect the computer for two or more employees in the same office, you would need a computer network. In its simplest form, a network consists of two or more connected computers. A computer network is a set of computer sharing resources located on or provided by network nodes. The computers use common communication protocol over digital interconnection to communicate with each other, and each computer on the network contains a network interface device to link the computer to the network. The connection medium for linking network components can be a telephone wire, coaxial cable, or radio signal in the case of cell phone, and wireless local area network, which is the Wi-Fi network. So here, the network operating system, or NOS, routes and manage communications on the network and coordinates network resources. So it can reside on every computer in the network, or primarily on a dedicated server computer for all the applications on the network. So a server is a computer on a network that performs important network functions for client computers, such as displaying web pages, storing data, and storing the network operating system. And most network also contain a switch or a hub, acting as a connection point between the computers. So hub are simple devices that connect networks components, sending a packet of data to all other connected devices. So a switch, on the other hand, has more intelligence than a hub and can filter and forward data to a specific destination on the network. And what if you want to communicate with another network, such as the internet? So you would need a router. So a router is a communications processor that routes packet of data through different networks, ensuring that the data sent get to the correct address. So network switches and routers have proprietary software built into their hardware for directing the movement of data on the network. So this can create networks, bottlenecks, and make the process of configuring a network more complicated and time-consuming. So here, kung makikita nyo sa picture, ay ito po siya. So NOS is the server, and then magpupunta siya sa switch to filter and forward specific destination on the network, then sa router, and then mapupunta na siya sa mga PCs or mga devices natin na ginagamit. So network in large companies. So the network we've just described might be suitable for small business. But what about large companies with many locations and thousands of employees? As a firm grows, its small networks can be tied together into a corporate-wide network infrastructure. So the network infrastructure for a large corporation consists of a large number of these small local area networks linked to other local area networks and to firm-wide corporate networks. So a number of powerful servers support a corporate website, a corporate intranet, and perhaps an extranet. So itong large companies, yung network ng large companies, normally ito yung mga ginagamit ng mga worldwide or nationwide companies. May operations sa worldwide or nationwide operation, so to speak. So gumagamit sila ng large network, which is parang pinagsama-samang maliliit na network siya. So as you can see from this figure, a large corporate network infrastructure use a wide variety of technologies. So everything from ordinary telephone service and corporate data network to internet service, wireless internet, and mobile phones. One of the major problems facing corporations today is how to integrate all different communications networks and channels into a coherent system that enables information to flow from one part of the corporation to another and from one system to another. So key digital networking technology. So contemporary digital networks are the internet are based on three technologies. One is client server computing. So the use of packet switching and development of widely used communication standards. The most important of which is the TCP, or Transmission Control Protocol, and or Internet Protocol, IP, for linking disparate networks and computers. So client server computing is a distributed computing model in which some of the processing power is located within small, inexpensive client computers and reside literally on desktop or laptops or in a handheld device. So these powerful clients are linked to another through a network that is controlled by a network server computer. It also makes it possible for personal computing devices such as PCs, laptops and mobile phones to be connected to networks such as the internet. So the internet is the largest implementation of client/server computing. Packet switching. Packet switching is a method of slicing digital messages into parcel called packets. So sending the packets along different communication paths as they become available, and then reassembling the packets once they arrive at their destination. So prior to the development of packet switching, computer networks use leased dedicated telephone circuits to communicate with other computers in remote locations. And these dedicated circuit switching techniques were expensive and wasted available communication capacity. So the circuit was maintained regardless of whether any data were being sent. So the packets are transmitted over various communication channels by using routers. So each packet traveling independently, and packets of data originating at one source will be routed through many paths and networks before being reassembled into the original message when they reach their destinations. And third will be TCP/IP and connectivity. So in a typical communication network, diverse hardware and software components needs to work together to transmit information. So different components in a network communicate with each other by adhering to a common set of rules called protocols. So a protocol is a set of rules and procedures governing transmission of information between 2 points in a network. So in the past, diverse proprietary and incompatible protocols often force business firms to purchase computing and communications equipment from a single vendor. However, today, corporate networks are increasingly using a single common worldwide standard called Transmission Control Protocol, or IP, or Internet Protocol. TCP or IP use a suite of protocols, the main ones being TCP and IP. So TCP refers to the Transmission Control Protocol, which handles the movement of data between computers. And IP refers to the Internet Protocol, which is responsible for the delivery of packets and includes the disassembling and reassembling of packets during transmission. So next will be, what are the different types of networks? So there are two ways to communicate a message in a network. One, the analog signal, and the second is the digital signal. So an analog signal is represented by a continuous waveform that passes through a communication medium and has been used for audio communication. So the most common analog devices are the telephone handset, the speaker on our computer, and your iPhone earphone or our mobile phone's earphone, all of which create analog waveforms that your ear can hear. Next will be a digital signal. So a digital signal is a discrete binary waveform rather than a continuous waveform. So digital signals communicate information, a string of two discrete states, 1 bit or 0 bit, which was explained earlier, which are represented as on-off electrical pulses. So computers use digital signals and require a modem to convert these digital signals into analog signals that can be sent over or received from telephone lines, cable lines, or wireless media that use analog signals. So modem, yung ginagamit natin sa internet, stands for modulator, demodulator. So cable models connect your computer to the internet by using a cable network. So yung mga DSL modems, yun yung ginagamit sa digital signals po. So type of networks. There are many kinds of networks and the ways of classifying them. So one way of looking at networks is in terms of their geographic scope. So local area network, or the LAN, LAN, if you work in a business that uses networking, you are probably connected to other employees and groups via a local area network. So a local area network, or LAN, is designed to connect personal computers and other digital devices within a half mile or 500 meters radius. So LANs typically connect a few computers in a small office, all the computers in one building, or all the computers in several buildings in close proximity. So LANs also are used to link to long-distance wide area networks such as WAN and other networks around the world using the internet. So another type of networks will be metropolitan and wide area network. So wide area network, which is WAN, is actually the largest type of networks among all types. So it span broad geographically. It's like regional distances and regions, states or continents, or even the entire globe. So the most universal and powerful one is the internet itself. A computer connects to a WAN through public networks such as the telephone system or private cable systems, or through leased line or satellites. So a metropolitan area network, on the other hand, is a network that spans a metropolitan area, usually a city and its major suburbs, and its geographic scope falls between a WAN or a LAN. So transmission media and transmission speed. So networks use different kinds of physical transmission media, including twisted pair wire or your jacketed wire, coaxial cable, the newest, which is fiber optic cable, and media for wireless transmission. So each has advantages and limitations, and a wide range of speed is possible for any given medium, depending of the software and hardware configuration. So ayan po, if you can see, sa Twisted Pair Cat5, ang speed lang niya is hanggang up to 100 Mbps. Yung upgraded version ng Cat5 is Cat5e, which will give you a maximum recommended run or speed, so to speak, of 1,000 Mbps. And then yung latest, yung Cat6, has a maximum speed capacity of up to 10,000 Mbps. And then for bandwidth or the transmission speed, so the total amount of digital information that can be transmitted through any telecommunications medium is measured in bits per second, as discussed earlier po, yung bits per second. So one signal change or cycle is required to transmit one or several bits. Therefore, the transmission capacity of each type of telecommunication medium is a function of its frequency. So the number of cycles per second that can be sent through the medium is measured in hertz. So 1 hertz is equal to 1 cycle of the medium. So the range of frequencies that can be accommodated on a particular telecommunications channels is called its bandwidth. So bandwidth is the difference between the highest and lowest frequencies that can be accommodated on a single channel. So the greater the range of frequencies, the greater the bandwidth, and the greater the channel's transmission capacity. So third, how do the internet and internet technology work, and how do they support communications and e-business? So the internet has become an indispensable personal and business tool. But what exactly is the internet? So how does it work? And what does internet technology have to offer for business? So let's first define what is the internet. So the internet is a global computer network providing a variety of information and communication facilities consisting of interconnected networks using standardized communication protocols. So the internet is the world's most extensive public communication system. It's almost the world's largest implementation of the client server computing that we have discussed earlier, and internet working. So linking millions of individual networks all over the world. So an internet service provider, on the other hand, is a commercial organization with a permanent connection to the internet that sells temporary connections to retail subscribers. So PLDT, Smart, Globe, and Sky Cable are some of the ISPs or internet service providers in the Philippines. Individuals also connect to the internet through their business firms, universities, or research centers that have designated internet domains. So for digital subscriber line or DSL, Technologies operates over existing telephone line to carry voice and data and video and at transmission rates ranging from 385 kbps all the way up to 3 Mbps depending on usage pattern distance. So ito yung copper line na tinatawag, yung copper technology, yung digital subscriber line. So it uses yung telephone line. So ito minsan nangyayari to kasi sa minsan pag walang internet pero gumagana pa rin yung telephone line ni customer. Mamaya I'll discuss yung voice over IP or yung voice over internet protocol. Kasi sa DSL, telephone line pa rin ang ginagamit niya to transmit internet or to transmit data. So sometimes there are instances na gumagana si internet pero gumagana si telephone pero walang internet. Mostly ang nagiging trouble nun is yung splitter na nag-split sa voice and sa data is hindi gumagana. So gumagana si telephone tapos si internet hindi. Another technology will be the cable internet connection. Provides by cable television vendors such as Sky Cable. This vendor used digital cable coaxial lines to deliver high-speed internet access to homes and businesses. So yung ginagamit naman neto mga cable internet connection is yung connection na ginagamit nila same as how they transmit cable TV. So they can provide high-speed access to the internet of up to 50 Mbps. Although most providers offer service ranging from 3 Mbps to 20 Mbps, where DSL and cable service are unavailable, it is possible to access the internet via satellite, although some satellite internet connections have slower upload speeds than other broadband speeds. Reason behind that is marami kasing factors na nag-affect sa satellite signal. One is the weather. Pag si weather is hindi maganda, then yung bato ng data or ng signal is hindi rin magiging maganda. So normally yan yung nagiging complaints ng mga subscribers ng Sky Cable na pag umulan, nawawalan na sila ng connection. That is because they're still using satellite to transmit data. And then next will be the T1 and T3 lines. Our international telephone service, T1 and T3 lines are international telephone standards for digital communication. So there are leased dedicated lines suitable for businesses and government agencies requiring high-speed guaranteed service levels. T1 lines offer guaranteed delivery at 1.5 Mbps and T3 lines offer delivery at 45 Mbps. So the internet does not provide similar guaranteed service levels but simply best effort. So next will be the internet addressing and architecture. So every device connected to the internet or other TCP or IP network is assigned a unique internet protocol address consisting of a string of numbers. So when a user send a message to another user on the internet or other TCP or IP network, the message is first decomposed into packets. So each packet contains its destination address. So the packets are then sent from the client to the network server, and from there onto as many other servers as necessary to arrive at a specific computer with a known address. So at the destination address, the packets are reassembled into the original message. So domain name. Because it would be incredibly difficult for internet users to remember long string of numbers, an IP address can be represented by a natural language convention called a domain name. So domain name or the domain name system converts domain name to IP addresses. So DNS or the domain name system, servers maintain a database containing IP addresses mapped to their corresponding domain names. At the top of the DNS hierarchy is the root domain. So the child domain of the root is called the top level domain, and the child domain of a top level domain is called a second level domain. So top level domains are 2 and 3 characters names you are familiar with from surfing the web. Example neto is yung .com, .edu, .ph, .gov. So a host name at the bottom of the hierarchy designates a specific computer or either the internet or or a private network. So with this example, yun yung domain name system. Normally, ito yung mga nakikita natin pag nagta-type tayo ng website. Lagi siyang may domain sa dulo, yung .com, .gov, or whatsoever, minsan .edu, .ph, or kung sa ibang bansa yun, .us, depende. So, yun yung DNS. So, yun yung top level domains, and then the second level domains, yun yung bago mag top level domains. Kunwari, google.com. So, second level domain is Google, and then the top level domain is .com. Okay, so next will be internet architecture and governance. So internet data traffic is carried over transcontinental high-speed backbone networks that generally operates in the range of 155 Mbps to 2.5 Gbps. So these track lines are typically owned by long-distance telephone companies called network service providers or by national governments. So the internet backbone connects to regional networks, which is turned provide access to internet service providers, large firms, and government institutions. So with here sa Philippines, may backbone is normally si PLDT and then Globe. Si Converge is actually renting sa backbone ni PLDT, sa nationwide backbone ni PLDT. And also, gaya nga ng sinabi, it has, backbone is owned by the internet service providers. For some instance, sa Telstra kasi sa Australia, yung mga backbone doon is owned by Telstra, but because of the new generation or the NGN, new generation network, parang binili na ng government ng Australia yung backbone. So parang si government na yung may-ari nung mga backbone ng telcos sa Australia. So same applies. May mga dito sa Philippines, yung mga backbones yun yung mga submarine cable lines ng mga telcos is pag may-ari pa nila, but yung may mga ibang probinsya kasi na yung mga truck lines or backbones is owned na by the government. So hindi na siya private, hindi na siya owned by private sector, so to speak. So yung PLDT Domestic Fiber Network or the DFON, yun yung nationwide fiber optic backbone network ni PLDT dito sa Pilipinas. So comprised of nodes connecting by terrestrial and submarine cables, linked together, configured with 10 self-healing loops and 2 appendages extended to, sa province ni Palawan and ni Zamboanga. And next will be the future internet or the IPv6 or Internet Protocol version 6. So the internet was not originally designed to handle billions of users and transmissions of massive quantities of data. So because of sheer internet population growth, the world is about to run out of available IP addresses using the old addressing convention, which is the IPv4. Which is the Internet Protocol version 4. Kasi si IPv4 only has 4.3 billion unique IP addresses. Each device na ginagamit natin has a unique IP address. So, nauubos na yung available IP addresses. So, they upgraded the Internet Protocol to version 6. Actually, dapat version 5 siya. Ang nangyari lang kasi sa version 5 is yung same, sa version 5 has same unique or same numbers of unique IP address sa IPv4. In this case, sa IPv6, meron na siyang like quadrillions of unique IP addresses na available. So, the old system based on 32-bit addresses is being replaced by a new version of IP addressing called IPv6, which contains 128-bit addresses or more than a quadrillion possible unique addresses. So IPv6 is compatible with most modems and routers sold today. And IPv6 will fall back to the old addressing system if IPv6 is not available on local networks. So the transition to IPv6 will take several years as system replace older equipment. So as you can see, kung gusto niyo malaman yung IP or yung unique IP address nyo, pwede nyo siyang i-search sa Google. I-type nyo lang sa search bar ni Google, what is my IP address? Tapos ibibigay niya na yung IP address niya. Pag ano siya, pag 4 parts divided into period, IPv4 siya. Pero pag ano siya, pag 8 segments or sections separated by colon, ibig sabihin IPv6 na yung gamit. So kung familiar kayo sa 192.168.0.1, yun yung IPv4. Separated by periods, yung 4 segments separated by 4 periods. And then IPv6 again is separated by colon. 8 segments naman siya. Next will be the internet service and communication tools. The internet is based on client-server technology. So individuals using the internet control what they do through client applications on their computers, such as web browser software. So the data, including email messages and web pages, are stored on servers. So a client uses the internet to request information from a particular web server on a distant computer, and the server sends the requested information back to the client over the internet. Client platform today include not only PCs and other computers, but also smartphones and tablets. So for internet service, so a client computer connecting to the internet has access to a variety of services. So these services include email, chatting and instant messaging, electronic discussion groups, Telnet, a file transfer protocol or FTP, and the World Wide Web itself. So each internet service is implemented by one or more software programs. So all the services may run on a single server computer, or different services may be allocated to different machines. So email enables messages to be exchanged from computer to computer with capabilities for routing messages to multiple recipients, forwarding messages, and attaching text documents or multimedia files to messages. So most email today is sent through the internet. So the cost of email is far lower than equivalent voice, postal, or overnight delivery costs. At saka mas mabilis siya instead of cost efficient, at saka mas mabilis ka sa pag-email instead of snail mail or postal mail. So chatting enables 2 or more people who are simultaneously connected to the internet to hold live. Normally ginagamit natin ito sa mga messaging apps. So many online retail businesses offer chat services as well on their websites to attract, visitors, to encourage repeat purchases, and to improve customer service. So instant messaging is a type of chat service that enables participants to create their own private chat channels. So the instant messaging system alerts the user whenever someone on his or her private list is online, so that the user can initiate a chat session with other individuals. So same sa Messenger, makita natin kung sino yung mga naka-online sa chat list natin. So next will be the voice over IP or voice over internet protocol. So it is a technology that allows you to make voice calls using a broadband internet connection instead of a regular or analog phone line. So the internet has also become a popular platform for voice transmission and corporate networking. So voice over IP technology delivers voice information in digital form using packet switching, avoiding the tolls charged by local and long-distance cell phone networks. So calls that would ordinarily be transmitted over public telephone networks travel over the corporate networks based on the internet protocol or over the public internet. So voice calls can be made and received with a computer equipped with a microphone and speakers, or with a VoIP or VoIP enabled telephone. So here, sa voice over IP, normally sa mga fiber optics, Ito na siya, gumagamit na siya ng voice over IP. So technically si internet protocol na nagpapatakbo sa voice service sa fiber pa sa fiber optic. So technically pag walang internet or kung hindi nakaka-receive ng signal si router, hindi rin gagana si voice service. Unlike sa DSL or sa copper line, kahit hindi gumagana si modem, meron pa rin telephone service si telephone itself. So BOP phone, a voice over internet protocol phone calls digitalize and breaks up a voice messaging into data packets that may travel along different routes before being reassembled at the final destination. So a processor nearest the call destination is called a gateway, and yan yung si modem or si router, arrange the packets in the proper order and directs them to the telephone number of the receiver or the IP address of the receiving computer. So again, kung hindi gumagana si gateway, hindi rin makakapag-transmit ng voice service. So next will be unified communications and virtual private networks. So unified communication and virtual private networks. In the past, each of the firm's networks for wired and wireless data, voice communications, and video conferencing operated independently of each other and had to be managed separately by the information system department. Now, firms can merge disparate communication modes into a single universally accessible service using unified communication technology. So unified communication integrates disparate channels for voice communications, data communications, instant messaging, email, and electronic conferencing into a single experience by which users can seamlessly switch back and forth between different communication modes. Present technology shows whether a person is available to receive a call. So for VPN, a virtual private network or VPN is a secure encrypted private network that has been configured within a public network to take advantage of the economies of scale and management facilities of large networks, such as the internet. A VPN provides your firm with secure encrypted communications at a much lower cost than the same capabilities offered by traditional non-internet providers that use their private networks to secure communications. So in a process called tunneling, packets of data are encrypted and wrapped inside IP packets. So by adding the wrap or the wrapper around a network message to hide its content, business firms create a private connection that travels through the public internet. Next will be the web. So the web is the most popular internet service. It's a system with universally accepted standards for storing, retrieving, formatting, and displaying information by using a client-server architecture. Web pages are formatted using hypertext, embedded links that connects documents to one another and that also links pages to other objects such as sound, video, or animation files. So when you click a graphic and a video clip plays, you have clicked a hyperlink. So a typical website is collection of web pages linked to a home page. So hypertext web pages are based on a standard hypertext markup language or the HTML, which formats documents and incorporates dynamic links to other documents and other objects stored in the same or remote computers. So web pages are accessible through the internet because web browser software operates. Your computer can request web pages stored on an internet host server by using the Hypertext Transfer Protocol or the HTTP. HTTP is the communication standard that transfer pages on the web. So example of which is when you type a web address in your browser, such as http:// www.google.com. So yun yung example ng HTTP or Hyper Text Transfer Protocol. So an HTTP request to google.com server requesting the homepage of Google. HTTP is the first set of letters at the start of every web addresses, followed by the domain name, which we discussed earlier, and specifies the organization server computer that is storing the web pages. So most companies have a domain name that is the same as or closely related to their official corporate names. So the directory, a path, and web page's name are two more pieces of information with the web address that helps the browser track down the requested page. So a web server is software for locating and managing store web pages. It locates the web pages a user requests on the computer where they are stored and delivers the web pages to the user's computer. So server application usually run on dedicated computers, although they can also reside on a single computer in a small organization. So searching for the information on the web. So no one knows for sure how many web pages there really are. So the service web is the part of the web that search engines visits and about which information is recorded. So search engines, obviously with so many web pages, finding specific ones that can help you or your business nearly instantly is an important problem. So the question is, how can you find the one or two pages you really want and need one of billions of indexed web pages? So search engines attempts to solve the problems of finding useful information on the web nearly instantly, and arguably they are killer app of the internet era. So if you can see here sa graph, sa pie graph, makita nyo na ang laki ng part ni Google, like 72.9% siya as compared to other search engines. So mas maraming gumagamit ng Google as search engine kaysa sa iba. And just a trivia, in decade of 2010, I believe Google was chosen to be the word of the decade in 2010. Yung Google is actually acceptable English word na, which means search. So instead of us saying search, we use Google instead, the word Google instead. So whenever someone said Google it, then that means you have to search for it. And so how Google works. So the Google search engine is continuously crawling the web, indexing the content of each page, calculating its popularity, and storing the page so that it can respond quickly to user requests to see a page. The entire process takes about half a second. So itong buong process na to, itong nakikita nyo sa graph will only take few or split of a second lang. Kunwari mag-enter tayo ng query, pupunta siya sa Google Web Servers, and then transfer nyo sa Google Index Servers, then transfer it to PageRank software, pabalik sa user. So magpapakita na ng mga related searches si Google sa query ni users nang mabilis lang. Before, parang early part ng 2000, early part ng 2000, si Google, wala pa siya sa 30% na gumagamit, wala pang 30% of the total numbers of internet users ang gumagamit ng Google. May mga iba pa siyang competitors kung naabutan niyo yung Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, Safari, and other search engines, even Yahoo Search. Dominant pa sila before, but the year later part ng 2000, nag-boom si Google, parang almost 90% ng users or more than 90% ng internet users is gumagamit ng Google as their search engine. So for mobile search from smartphones and tablets makes up to or more than 50% of all searches and will expand rapidly in the next few years. So Google, Amazon, and Yahoo have developed new search interfaces to make searching and shopping from smartphones more convenient. Yung kasi yung mga smartphones na, especially yung Android, since nag-tied up na si Google with Android, required na magkaroon ka ng Google account para magamit mo yung Android phone mo. Although smartphones are widely used to shop, actual purchases typically take place on laptops and desktops and followed by tablets based on their research. So semantic search, so another way for search engines to become more discriminating and helpful is to make search engines capable of understanding what we are really looking for. So called semantic search, the goal is to build a search engine that can really understand human language and behavior. So Google and other search engine firms are attempting to refine search engines algorithm to capture more of what the users intended and meaning of the search. So ito yung mga predictive search, yung hindi yung panatype yung buong query mo, may lumalabas na siya na predictive search sa Google. Next will be the social search. One problem with Google and mechanical search engine is that they are so thorough. So if you enter, for example, ultra computers and in 0.2 seconds, you will receive over like 300 million responses. So social search is an effort to provide fewer or more relevant and trustworthy search results based on a person's network of social contacts. So in contrast to the top search engine that use a mathematical algorithm to find pages that satisfies your query, social search would highlight content that was created or touched by members of your social network. So yung Facebook search is a social networking search engine that responds to user search queries with information from the user's social network or friends and connections. So Facebook search is a perfect example because it relies on the huge amount of data on Facebook that is or can be linked to individuals and organizations. So you might use Facebook search as well to search for some food restaurants or your friends or photos and the like. So visual search. The visual search, although search engines were originally designed to search text documents, the explosion of photos and videos on the internet create a demand for searching and classifying these visual objects. So sa Google, makita natin pag sa search engine ni Google, may mga sub-tab doon sa baba, like kung all, kung web, map, or images, or whatsoever, docs lang yung mga isa-search mo. So sa visual search, ito yung mga images or mga photos naman. So facial recognition software can create a digital version of a human face. Again, si Facebook has a tag suggest function to assist users in tagging their friends in photos. You can also search for people on Facebook by using their digital image to find and identify them. Next will be shopping boots. So shopping boots use intelligent agent software for searching the internet for shopping information. So search engine, marketing search engines have become major advertising platforms and shopping tools by offering what is now called search engine marketing. So because search engine marketing is so effective, it has the highest click-through rate and the highest return on ad investment. So companies seek to optimize their websites for search engine recognition. So the better optimized the page is, the higher a rank it will achieve in search engine result listing. So kung makikita nyo sa mga social networking sites, may mga ads doon na mga link na pwede mong i-click. Yun yung mga ginagamit ng mga businesses for their advertisement. Next, we'll be sharing information on the web. So today, Website don't just contain statistic content. They enable people to collaborate, share information, and create new services and content online. Web can support interactive real-time user, control social participation, like sharing, and user-generated content. So the technologies and services behind these features include high or cloud computing, software mashups and apps, blogs, RSS, wikis, and social networks. So for blog, so the popular term for a web blog is a personal website that typically contains a series of chronological entries, newest to oldest by its author, and links to related web pages. So most blogs allows readers to post comments on the blog entries as well. So sa social networking sites naman, it enables users to build communities of friends and professional colleagues. Members typically create a profile. I believe you guys are familiar with this, like web page, posting photos, videos, auto files and text. Ang mga example nga netong mga social networking sites would be Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. So the large social networking sites are also application development platforms, while members can create and sell software applications to other members of the community. So Facebook alone has more than 7 million apps and websites integrated with it, including applications for gaming, video sharing, and communications with friends and family. So gaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, si Facebook is, since marami siyang user, it's a perfect platform for businesses to post their ads. So kaya marami tayong nakikitang advertisements sa Facebook, even sa Messenger. So even sa mga videos na piniplay natin online sa newsfeed natin, makikita natin yung mga advertisements. So the future web. So the future of internet is becoming visible. Its key features are more tools for individuals to make sense out of the trillion of pages of the internet or the millions of apps available for smartphones, and as a visual, even three-dimensional or 3D web, where you can walk through pages in a 3D environment. So even closer in time is a pervasive web that controls everything from a city's traffic lights and water usage, to the lights in your living room, to your car's rear view mirror. So parang ito yung, this refers to as the Internet of Things, and it's based on billions of internet-connected sensors throughout the physical world. So Internet of Things, as I mentioned, it describes physical objects with sensors, processing ability, softwares, and other technologies that connect and exchange data with other devices and systems over the internet or other communication networks. So example of this is yung Tesla car, na hindi mo na kailangan, na pwede na umaandar kahit na hindi mo ginagamit o ginagalaw yung manubela. Parang automatic driving siya, as well as yung Alexa or yung Google na ginagamit. Even yung yung mga security cameras natin, yung mga sensors natin, even lights, yung pag may smart home kayo, like yung most of your appliances are connected to Wi-Fi, you can actually monitor your appliances kahit wala ka sa bahay nyo, so long as they are connected to a Wi-Fi through an app. So yan yung mga example ng Internet of Things. So lastly, what are the principal technologies and standards for wireless networking, communication, and internet access? So cell phones, smartphones, tablets, and wireless-enabled personal computers have morphed into portable media and computing platform that led us to perform many of the computer tasks you used to do at your own desk, or a whole lot more, even if you're out and about. So smartphones such as the iPhone or Android phones combine the functionality of a cell phone with that of a mobile laptop computer with Wi-Fi capability. So this makes it possible to combine music, video, internet access, and telephone service in one device. Unlike ng mga old model na cell phones, it's mainly used to call or text. Yung mga smartphones na gamit natin ngayon has capability of accessing internet. So cellular systems, earlier generation of cellular systems were designed primarily for voice, just like what I mentioned, voice and limited data transmission in the form of short text messages. So today's wireless carriers offer 3G and 4G networks, and then si 5G, yung latest. So si 3G network with transmission speed ranging from 144 kbps for mobile users, say a car, to more than 2 Mbps for stationary users, offers transmission speed appropriately for email and web browsing. So for 4G networks, it has much higher speed of up to 100 Mbps and download of 50 Mbps. I mean, 100 Mbps download and 50 Mbps upload with more than enough capacity for watching high definition video on our smartphone. So yung LTE or the long-term evolution and mobile worldwide interoperability for microwave access are the current 4G standards. So ngayon si 5G has the gigabyte range naman. Ito yung latest na mobile network, yung latest generation. Si 5G is still under development. 5G will support transmission of huge amount of data in a gigabyte range. So mas mabilis si 5G. When I was working with Telstra, parang tinetest pa lang nila to, and that was like around 3 years ago. Tinetest pa lang nila yung 5G sa some areas sa Australia. And I think nag-okay naman yung testing nila, kaya na ginagamit na ngayon si 5G. Even here in the Philippines, ginagamit na rin si 5G. But yung mga old mobile devices natin, yung walang 5G capable, gagana pa rin naman, ma-access nyo pa rin naman si internet using your existing cellular system or network, which is the 4G and the 3G. Next will be the wireless computer networks and the internet access. So an array of technologies provides high-speed wireless access to the internet for PCs and mobile devices. So this new high-speed service have extended internet access to numerous locations that could not be covered by traditional wired internet services and have made computing anywhere, anytime, and a reality. So Bluetooth is the popular name for the 802.15 wireless network standard, which is useful for creating small personal area networks, or the PAN. So it links up to 8 devices within a 10-meter area using low power radio-based communication and can transmit up to 722 kbps in the 2.4 gigahertz band. So ayun yung ginagamit nating Bluetooth, yung pwede nating i-connect yung mga multiple devices natin, such as our smartphones to a printer, to a different, or to a PC, to a laptop, or to a different phones. And Wi-Fi and wireless internet access, also known as Wi-Fi. So the first of these standards to be widely adopted was 802.11b, which can transmit up to 11 Mbps in the unlicensed 2.4 gigahertz band and has an effective distance of 30 to 50 meters. So the 802.11g standard can transmit up to 54 Mbps in the 2.4 gigahertz range. So ngayon, meron na rin siyang yung 5 gigahertz range, which is mas mabilis kung meron kayong fiber, or kung fiber na yung gamit yung internet sa bahay. As you can see, yung mga modems or mga routers natin or gateways natin is broadcasting 2 different Wi-Fis. One is 2.4 gigahertz and then the one is 5 gigahertz. So ngayon, ang difference lang naman nila, si 5 gigahertz is mas mabilis kung mas malapit kayo kay modem. That is because yung bato ng bandwidth niyang ng 5 gigahertz is compressed. So mas mabilis yung bato niya kung mas mabilis kayo sa modem. Sa 2.4G naman, mas malawak yung coverage niya kasi hindi siya as compressed as 5G. So kung malapit kayo sa modem nyo or ng router nyo, at kung yung device na ginagamit nyo has 5G, 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi capability, I suggest i-connect nyo siya sa 5 GHz para mas mabilis yung connection nyo. So, trivia lang, Wi-Fi is not an acronym at all. Kasi before, ewan ko kung ako lang because before I thought that Wi-Fi is an acronym for wireless fidelity. But totally it's not. Bali kasi yung Wi-Fi Alliance, which is the creator of Wi-Fi, ang ginamit nilang tagline before is the standard for wireless fidelity. So yung mga tao thought that the Wi-Fi is acronym for wireless fidelity. But as per them, as for the creator of Wi-Fi, niretain lang nila yung Wi-Fi kasi yun yung pangalan ng alliance nila, and it doesn't really have an acronym meaning at all. So Wi-Fi lang talaga siya. Wala siyang acronym meaning. So WiMAX, on the other hand, surprisingly, large numbers of areas, ito sa US tong WiMAX, throughout the world do not have access to Wi-Fi or fixed broadband connectivity. So the range of Wi-Fi systems is not more than 300 feet from the base station, making it difficult for rural groups that don't have cable or DSL service to find wireless access to the internet. So the Institution of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, IEEE, developed a family of standard known as WiMAX to deal with this problem. So WiMAX, which stands for Worldwide Interoperability for Microwave Access. So it has a wireless access range from up to 31 miles and transmission speed of 30 to 40 Mbps and up to 1 gigabits per second for fixed stations. So WiMAX antennas are powerful enough to beam high-speed internet connections to rooftop antennas of homes and businesses that are miles away, and cellular handsets and laptops with WiMAX capabilities are appearing in the marketplace as well. Next will be the RFID and wireless sensors. So RFID, so mobile technologies are creating new efficiencies and ways of working throughout the enterprise. In addition to the wireless systems we have just described, radio frequency identification systems and wireless sensor networks have a major impact. So yung radio frequency identification or RFID systems provides a powerful technology that for tracking the movement of goods throughout the supply chain. RFID use low-powered radio transmission or transmitters to read data stored in a tag at distance ranging from 1 inch to 100 feet. So the reader captures the data from the tag and send them over a network to a host computer or processing. So, ang sample nga nito yung RFID natin sa mga sasakyan, yung AutoSweep and EasyTrip. So, may tag siyang nilalagay, may tag na ini-install sa sasakyan at pag dumaan ka sa toll gate, yun yung masisense nung reader. Next will be the wireless sensor network. So, yung NFC pala is a short-range wireless connectivity standards that uses electromagnetic radio fields to enable two compatible devices to exchange data when brought within a few centimeters of each other. So smartphone or other NFC-compatible devices sends out radio frequency signals that interact with an NFC tag found in compatible card readers or smart posters. So an NFC tag could show information about what you're viewing at the museum or exhibit. Next will be the wireless sensors network. So if your company wanted state-of-the-art technology to monitor building security or detect hazardous substances in the air, it might deploy a wireless sensor network. So wireless sensor network or WSN are networks of interconnected wireless devices that are embedded in the physical environment to provide measurements of many points over large spaces. So these devices have built-in processing, storage, and radio frequency sensors and antennas. So they are linked into an interconnected network that routes the data they capture to a computer for analysis. So these networks range from hundreds to thousands of nodes. And yun. And that's the end of my report po. Thank you for listening.
Okay, so thank you very much, sir. Very well comprehensive discussions. The topic, no, specifically for the chapter 7. So, of course, we have to accept the fact that the wireless sensor network might be implemented if your business desire cutting-edge technology to monitor building security or identify dangerous compounds in the air. No? So, in order to give measurement of numerous sites over wide areas, wireless network sensor networks are networks or interconnected wireless network sensors that are embedded into the physical environment, as our presenter mentioned. Okay, so I think that's it.